Oh man, this is a lawsuit in the making. This is crazy, bro.
3 people speaking out after being involved in a wrongful traffic stop earlier this month that led to them fearing for their lives. Thanks. That's our top story on 2 News at 6. I'm Mark Cabell.
And I'm Heidi Hatch. Lehi police believed at the time they were pulling over a stolen car. The problem, it was an error. The car was not stolen, leading to a stop that quickly turned hostile between both parties.
Welcome, everyone. I am Leroy Truth for Leroy Truth Investigations, and recording the police in the course of their daily duty and holding them accountable shall keep us free. Today, a very disturbing story coming from Lehi, Utah, brought to us by activist Samantha. Thank you for sending this. Now, police officers erroneously get back that a car is stolen after running the plate. They get confirmation from dispatch. There is a child, a young child in the backseat of the car. And these people are completely innocent. And these cops come in hot, guns drawn. There is a child in the backseat. And these people are understandably terrified. Watch this.
Oh man, this is a lawsuit in the making. This is crazy, bro.
3 people speaking out after being involved in a wrongful traffic stop earlier this month that led to them fearing for their lives. Thanks. That's our top story on 2 News at 6. I'm Mark Cabell.
And I'm Heidi Hatch. Lehi police believed at the time they were pulling over a stolen car. The problem, it was an error. The car was not stolen, leading to a stop that quickly turned hostile between both parties.
Now stop there. Freaking lamestream media. It quickly became hostile with both parties. These people are terrified for their lives. They are a 1/8 inch trigger pull from being unalived. How dare you, lamestream media, blame them? And subtly and not so subtly throughout this news report, you will see how the lamestream media supports the police and the police's narrative, including some excuses the police give on it's just so busy. It's such a busy intersection. It's so loud. That led to some of the confusion. The cops never apologize, number one. They don't want to be liable for lawsuit. And number 2, they are Zeus. They are gods upon Olympus. They can do no wrong, even when they do extreme wrong. Continuing.
Darby Sparks has been investigating this since it all happened. She joins us in Lehi with more on the story you'll only see here on 2 News. Darby?
Mark, Heidi, around this area is where the stop occurred on April 2nd, and it's actually not very busy right now, but normally it's very noisy, it's very busy, there's lots.
See that? Here we go. Busy. They are literally giving you the narrative of the police as police apologists to attempt to justify these actions to these completely innocent people.
Lots of cars. It's a very busy intersection over here. And police say that is part of the reason why the wrongful stop got so hostile and why things went wrong.
Apologists, they're literally making the excuses. They're running defense and offense for those evil, sadistic predators called the police in the United States of America.
Toren, they're trigger happy. Listen to the tyrant.
A Sunday afternoon lunch between friends turned sour when Toren Beales saw he was getting pulled over by Lehi police on their way home.
And when I looked into my mirror, waiting for the officer to approach my vehicle, I see guns pointed out, and I'm like, whoa.
Beales and his friend Michael said they immediately went into panic mode, not knowing what was going on.
We don't do things to warrant this kind of engagement from law enforcement. Instantly start recording.
Beales had been pulled over by Lehi police, who were under the impression that the car had been stolen. The license plate read it in their system as stolen, and dispatch confirmed it, causing the officers to make the stop.
This whole situation could have been avoided with a simple paperwork check.
Simple paperwork check to find out if that was in fact stolen or not. These people were almost unalived. And I use that word other than the other word because of the platform that we are on.
And instead, they went straight to holding guns at us.
The lieutenant of internal affairs at the department, who didn't want to speak on camera but agreed to a phone interview, says he's seen nothing like this happen before.
It's certainly the first one I've ever heard of or...
Oh, I never heard of it before. That makes it okay. Yeah, you never heard of it before, meaning you were never asked about it on camera before, and the coward was not willing to go on camera and speak to the media because police, for the most part, again, there's always anomalies. There are some brave men and women in the police. It's fractional. We're talking a tiny amount. But for any of you watching, I acknowledge you. But the huge majority, 99.999%, are cowards.
Or seen. It's a very rare circumstance.
Under normal circumstances, police drawing their guns during a felony traffic stop would be standard procedure.
It's very common.
Does stealing a car really warrant the threat of deadly force? Really? And you've seen videos, there's thousands of them on YouTube and social media, of police using their firearms accidentally during traffic stops or for even maybe some suspicion of stolen cars.
Common on a high-risk stop. You'd have to understand that you're also on 2100 North, which is a busy roadway with the road.
Oh, there we go. Busy, busy, busy again. They say it. The media says it to justify it. Attempt to justify it.
The road traffic noise. You also have the distance between the officers at the back of a vehicle up to the vehicle. And in this case, you also had a passenger who was yelling very loudly as well.
He was yelling, as you're just going to hear, because there was a freaking 6-year-old in the back seat. He is terrified, not just for himself, but for that young child that is this close to being unalived by these depraved, sadistic predators of we the people, the free people of the United States of America.
Passenger named Michael can be heard in the video recording getting very upset with police.
They tell us that I was talking too much and that's why they couldn't concentrate.
It's his fault. He's talking too much. They couldn't concentrate. They're just looking for any excuse to unalive any of these people, including the child. And you're going to hear that one of the cops jokes about that it's fun to point his weapon at a car with a child in it. That guy isn't not just fired, but arrested and put in some maximum security prison in general population, given his badge and his uniform, but no weapon. Would that be fair? Put it in the comments.
Kid in the car!
I think perhaps some of the language could have been toned down a little bit.
You can understand, though, right, when people are pulled over who don't have a stolen car and officers get out of their car and there's a child in the back seat and they have their guns drawn at the car, how these people might have been a little bit scared and they're reacting from that fear, right?
Certainly, we completely understand their frustration and confusion.
Stop. You see the reporter, how she asks this cop. You can see how they could be a little bit scared. They are probably in fear for their freaking lives. So she's minimizing and kissing the buttocks of the police officer, as Forrest Gump used to say, in the buttocks. She's minimizing this. You can see how they could be a little scared. And he says, yeah, I can understand how they could be frustrated and confused. They're not frustrated and confused. They're afraid for their lives and the lives of that little child. And they are all innocent. So you see how the mainstream media is in such collusion with the police. Always record the police and never trust the mainstream media. Always question everything. Critically question everything.
The whole situation.
One concerning piece of the video was when an officer was heard agreeing that it was fun to aim guns at children. Toren Beales had his 6-year-old son in the back of the car witnessing the entire stop.
You're aiming your gun at the car with the child. Is that fun? It is fun.
When I asked about that,
Is that fun? It is fun. I just about guarantee you, they're still working as predators of we the people. That's what cops are. They are predators of we the people. It's fun to hold a gun when there's a child in the car.
The lieutenant said it was dealt with internally.
Obviously, it doesn't represent the beliefs or policies or procedures of. It
was dealt internally. No freaking way. External investigations only. Stop accepting this. Any politicians, senators, congressmen, congresswomen, mayors, police chiefs, sergeants, you're all responsible for this. You're letting this happen. You're the ones who can change this, and we the people are going to demand you change it. We dealt with it internally, and it's not indicative of our regular day-to-day way we go about business, doing business with the public at large. Of course it is. Of course it is. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. And because of the power of social media and exposing these predators of we the people, the free people, we can show it is not a few bad apples that we're dealing with as a country. There is a profoundly large body of work, which of course only represents a fraction of what happens because only a fraction of the police criminality and predatory and assaulting behavior is actually caught on camera or sees the light of day. So multiply whatever you're aware of, ladies and gentlemen, by 1,000, and maybe you'll get a little bit closer to what is actually going on.
Lehi City, the police department.
Lehi police admitted to making multiple mistakes during that wrongful stop, including not giving their identification to the people.
It's the gift that just keeps on giving, this incredibly egregiously wrong stop.
They've tried to reach the people involved to talk, but they have not gotten a response. Live in Lehi, Darby Sparks, 2 News Investigates.
Hi, everybody.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Is that acceptable to you? I ask you to call Senator Schumer and Senator Tim Scott, and their numbers are here on the screen. Call them today. Please do this. Everyone, if you're watching this video, please do this, because that is a step of action. We can get as angry as we want when you watch my videos, and that is important, that you don't become numb to it, or you don't become, well, that's just the way it is. We have to take action. And step 1 is demanding from our public servants, Senator Schumer, Senator Tim Scott, to begin with. Also, Congresswoman Presley and also Senator Markey. They are actually attempting to get some type of police reform through, probably police reform light. We will give them our demand to what it needs to be. But please call Senator Schumer now. Just take a few minutes. Senator Schumer's office. I have the number here. And Senator Tim Scott, Republican, who is at least a bit open to supporting police reform. And those calls, I cannot underline enough how important those calls are. You may think they mean nothing. They have a formula for every single call they get. They have a formula that represents X amount of the constituents in the United States. We need to flood them with tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of phone calls. And that will precipitate me and a number of you to get together with these various senators, congressmen, congresswomen, to demand police reform and to demand that the domestic terrorism of the predatory, sadistic police culture and the police throughout the United States becomes the number one domestic issue that our government, our senators and congressmen, congresswomen, and the president addresses immediately. I'm never giving up on this. I'm committed. Until this comes about, I'm committed to bringing about change and need your support to do it. We, the people, collectively can bring change. And I want to thank all the other auditors and commenters online. Accountability for All, James Freeman, Dave San Joaquin from Transparency, James Madison Audits, Lackluster, the list goes on and on. There's so many. And Erie County Audits. And thank you all for what you do. Constitution State, thank you. And there's thousands and thousands of others. And we the people collectively with you will bring about police reform and not just complain about it. I am Leroy Truth for Leroy Truth Investigations. I so appreciate your support. Please subscribe to my channel. Please like my video. Please share my video. It will help the algorithms. And we will get the word out to even more people. And once and for all, create the freedom that our country was always supposed to have. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.